Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of On the Mic with Michael Flix. Very happy to be back. Pardon me. Excuse me, man. I ain't eating anything. I've been drinking coffee all morning. I got the jitters. Very happy to be back. Very happy to be back, man. Got a very special show number 2 for you, man. Got a very special guest in segment 2 that I definitely am excited to talk to. Him, just like my guest from last week, I've been trying to connect with for a little while. And we finally made it happen, and he's in here today. And again, I'm not gonna say his name quite yet. I mean, I've been promoting it on my Instagram, but not gonna say his name just yet. But I mean, he'll be here in the studio with us for segment 2. Very happy to have him here, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. I know nobody asked me, but I guess I'll go ahead and tell you, man. I'm doing good. I had a really good week, man. Was a little tired yesterday. Got some last minute editing done on one of my podcasts, Family Room Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere else. Go check that out. Got my editing done a little bit late on that, so it had me a little bit tired, and I was running late on it, but I got it done on time. I just started a second podcast with a couple of my buddies. It's called A Dad Pod. We were supposed to have episode 2 of that this week, but one of my friends, his name is Gio, he's a realtor. He found out somebody in his office has COVID-19. And he said he was never made contact with him. He was never in a room with him, but he's got a newborn in the house. So just to be safe, he and his wife are gonna, self-quarantine and, lock everything down and keep it away. And so we were gonna do our podcast, like me and my other friend Dor, we were gonna go to his house and record the first part of the podcast. And then, I'm sorry, not the first part, but Skype Geo and do it that way, but they ended up messing up. I forget. I think I messed that up somehow. I didn't plan right and I messed that up. But anyway, other than that, man, I've had a really good week, man. I just been hanging out with the fam. I got a 4-year-old and a newborn in the house myself, so I just been hanging out with the fam, helping out wifey as much as I can with the baby. So I've been good, man. I got no complaints. I've been I kind of stopped watching ESPN for a little while for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just kind of stopped. Really, because I wake up in the morning and just get straight to editing. And if I got a TV on in the background, I'll get distracted. So that's part of the reason why I don't watch ESPN anymore. But I've been trying back to watch it, especially now that I'm doing, what I'm saying, I have my own sports show. I've been trying to pay attention to a lot more sports, even though my show is going to be San Diego based. But something that kind of started San Diego based, as far as I'm concerned, with Mikey Williams putting it out there that he was thinking about going to an HBCU, albeit that he's still a freshman or going into his sophomore year. McCurr, I think how you say his name, McCurr Maker, he committed to an HBCU. He's going to Howard, man. That's a really, really big deal, man. I saw that. I got super proud, man. I was super happy. That's a big deal. That's a huge move, and hopefully a lot of other people follow his lead, man. As soon as I saw it, I think I saw it on Instagram first, and I went and checked online just to make sure it was still true because, you can't trust everything on social media. You can't trust everything online for that matter. But anyway, I Googled it just to make sure it was real, and it is indeed real, man. And the first thing I thought was man, I can't wait to hear in the 2021 NBA draft, the such and such team selects McCurr Maker from Howard University. Oh my God, that's gonna be a moment. I can't wait to hear that, man. That's gonna be super dope. Other than that, man, real excited. I mean, I'm not announcing it. They already put it on their Instagram and on their website and everything. But real happy to say that the Swiss Pro-Am is back for year 2, man. That's another thing that I've really been looking forward to. I was blessed to be able to, be on the baselines and sidelines taking pictures and doing video last year at the Swiss Pro-Am in their first year. So that was a lot of fun. I'm going to be back doing that this year. And they just put their schedule out. They start July 7th. They're going to be playing games Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I'm going to be there all 3 days for, all season long. Especially on Saturday, it's going to be a busy day for me, man. I'm going to leave this show and go straight over there, pull the camera right back out and get to work over there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of that, I've had a few players reach out to me and ask me to come out and either, highlight videos or pictures for them, which is dope. I'm always down, for more business, especially if I'm not already booked. I'm always down for more business. And actually, I kind of made sure, not that I got people blowing my phone up like that yet, but I kind of made sure I didn't have too much going on during the Swiss Pro-Am because I was anticipating people hitting me up for it and potentially the Swiss Pro-Am themselves hitting me up to come and do it. But anyway, to get back to my point, I'm happy a lot of people are hitting me up, and please continue to do so. But I just wanted to say one thing. Not going to tell you why I thought of it, but I just wanted to tell you, I'll tell you why I thought of it in a minute. Wanted to say one thing. I'm all cool with people coming up to me and asking me, to film them or take pictures at their game at a later time when you see me already working at a game. But understand, When I'm at a game, it is work for me. If you see the camera in my hand, that's work for me. And so I don't at all have the time to hold my camera and talk to you and try to make sure I'm getting everything. Like I don't. Talk to me during the timeout, between quarters, halftime, after the game, before the game. Please don't get this twisted, man. I'll talk to anybody. Like, come up, say what's up, whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about anything. Whatever you heard me say on the show, any of my podcasts, anything you see me put on Instagram, whatever. I'm always down to talk to people. Y'all people that know me know I could talk all day and night. But just while I'm working, that ain't the time to do it, man. I tell you this quick story real quick that kind of made me think of it. So last season, I worked for Hustle 2K. It's a media platform that's based in LA. I worked for Hustle 2K, and my assignment last season was to film all of the San Ysidro games, more specifically Mikey Williams. But actually, we're there because of Mikey Williams, but I can't say specifically because anybody that would go off for a big game on either team, more than likely they're going to get a video on Hustle 2K, and if not from Hustle 2K, from Michael Flix. But anyway, so I'm at the game, and who I work for, he likes for me to get like everything from the warm-ups in case somebody get a dunk while the refs ain't out there. Speaking of that, CIF, y'all need to change that rule, man. You let these high school kids dunk during warm-ups, man. Like, what's the big deal? But anyway, he wants me to get from warm-ups to the end of the game to the final buzzer, and instead like shaking hands, he wants me to get everything, crowd reactions, everything, obviously. And so it's warm-ups, and it's later on during the season. At this point, there's a lot of people in the gym, like a lot of people in the gym. I think we're just getting ready to start CIF playoffs. It might have been one of like the last games of San Ysidro's league. And I'm walking to my backpack to get my spare battery and just have it in my pocket so that when the one I have dies, I don't have to go and get it. I could just reach in my pocket, swap it out, and keep working. And while I'm walking back I'm back at the baseline. I just hit record and put my camera back up. This dude, I forget. I guess it wouldn't be a good idea to give his name, but this guy and his son walk up to me, and he's like, "Hey man, blast my son out." I was like, "What'd you say, bro?" He's like, "Blast my son out," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, what do you need from me?" He's like, "Yeah, man, my son plays for the best 7th or 8th grade team in San Diego, man." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's dope. What's his name?" And he told me his name. Please forgive me, I don't remember, the man or his son's name. But he told me his name. I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, man, he played for the best team in the city." I was like, "Sir, I just heard you say that. Like, what do you need from me? Like, what are you asking me to do?" He's like, "Yeah, blast my son out." I'm like, and say what? Like, and like I don't understand like who you think I am or where you think like this footage is gonna go, but like what are you asking me? And then he started like going on, and I still couldn't really follow what he was asking me. So I go back to my backpack when I'm supposed to be filming. I go back to my backpack and grab a business card and give it to him. I'm like, "Here you go, bro. Hey, just hit me up sometime." He's like, "Nah, man, just do it real quick." I'm like, "Bro, I don't know what you're asking me, but hit me up after the game. Like, we could talk about it after the game." And then he's like, "All right, bro." And like he said it like with an attitude, like I did something to him, like I did something wrong. And I'm like, "Fam, number one, you're not making it clear what you need from me. Number two, I don't just walk around pointing my camera at random people making videos to throw up on Instagram or YouTube. And number three, again, I'm working. Like, I am working. You don't just walk up to somebody when they at work and ask them for a favor. Like, unless that favor is a part of their job. Like, if I work at McDonald's and you come and ask me for some sauce, of course I'm going to give you some sauce. It's a part of my job. It's not a part of my job to stop and... Anyway, point of the story is, when I'm at a game, I'm working. So wait for a break, like wait for a timeout, wait for a break and play to come up and ask me for something, man. But anyway, yeah, Swiss Pro-Am is coming back, and I'm really excited about that. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, man. Other than that, it's not really San Diego-based, but I'm real happy that the NBA is back, man. The NBA is back. They back, not back playing yet, but they back in training camp. They back working out together. I hope nobody gets the COVID so they can finish the season. Speaking of that, I heard an interview and then I started reading up on it. You can never be too sure with a virus like this and a pandemic, but it seems like the NBA is like going, I guess you can't go above and beyond, but they're doing everything that they possibly can. It seems like I heard a reporter, a young lady, that's going to be in the bubble. She said she's been, everybody that's going to be in the bubble, they've been quarantined in this like specific hotel in Orlando for weeks. They've been quarantined. They've been getting COVID tested every day. The bus drivers that are going to be taking the players and the teams back and forth to the facilities and stuff like that, they've been getting tested for almost every day for almost a month now. Like, they're doing everything they possibly can to try to make sure that while players are in the bubble, they don't, get the virus and then so that it doesn't spread within there. Although they did say that about like 16 to 17 of the 300 players that are supposed to be going did get COVID-19. So, I mean, I guess there's that. But anyway, I'm excited about the NBA coming back, man. Speaking of that, and especially because I just saw the reflection of it. Saw the reflection of the Laker jersey in the window. Got a different piece of artwork here today, man. Shout out to my homegirl. It's a different Raquel. It's the same name, but it's a different girl. Shout out to my homegirl, Raquel, man. She's been a big supporter of mine with all my podcasts, with all my videos, anything I do, man. She's always one of the first one to like, comment, and share anything I do. But she gave me this piece of art for Christmas years ago. I don't even remember how long, but she gave it to me a long time ago. And I never really found a use for it. I've used it on my podcast a couple of times, but we never like hung it up on the wall. We never had like an official space for it. And it's going to be a part of the set. That's the piece of art that I was talking about last week that was supposed to be here that I forgot. But that's going to be here this week and moving forward. And, of course, Nipsey's back in here, man. So, yeah, man, that's that. What's up, man? Welcome back to On the Mic with Michael Flix. Y'all got to bear with me, man. It's my second show. I'm still learning. But, yeah, man, I got my... like I said, I got my guest here with me today, man. Somebody that I've been trying to connect with for a minute. We met last year at the Switch Pro-Am. I'm sure you don't remember. Okay, you do remember.
Yeah, I actually remember.
Yeah. We met last year at the Switch Pro-Am. And my man just had a big year for San Diego State, man. My man Matt Mitchell is in here, man.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you coming through and doing an interview with me, man. Like I said, I've been playing. I was actually telling my brother or somebody else the other day. I was like, people probably think I ain't for real because all the phone tag and all the messages back and forth that I've been going with people, and sometimes it don't actually happen. Mm-hmm. But you stuck with me, bro. And now we here doing an interview, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Oh, most definitely, man. I'm just trying to expand my horizon, my connections. I feel like this is a great way to do it.
I feel it, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna try to do some big things here in the city, man.
Okay.
Speaking of doing some big things here in the city, like I said, you just had a really, really big year for San Diego State, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Talk to me a little bit about it.
Man, it was honestly it was a wild ride, and I don't think anybody on the team anybody in the program expected us to go 30-2. But we definitely felt good about ourselves going into the season. I think we just came into that summer, and we just clicked. Our chemistry was just amazing. But I mean, it was a sad way to have to end that coronavirus coming and ending it all. But I would have loved to see how that played out.
I mean, I was telling people, I like y'all to go real deep in the tournament, man. I like y'all to go real deep in the tournament, man. And so you just finished up your junior year, right?
Yep, just finished up my junior year.
Your junior year, and you had been at San Diego State?
Yeah, all 3 years.
All 3 years,
yep,
correct.
All 3 years.
And what high school you went to?
I went to, originally my freshman year I went to King High School in Riverside, and I transferred. My last 3 years I went to Roosevelt, and I graduated there.
And you won a state championship, correct?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that. I know it's a lot of high school players' dreams. Sometimes, like, you win that, and I've seen it from players, especially because I used to coach. You see high school players, they're like, man, I just want to get that CIF ring. Yep. And then they get that, and then the next year they're like, I mean, that's cool. Like, what's next? And so the state championship, it's a big goal, and it's harder to attain, obviously, than the CIF championship.
Yes,
so talk to me about winning the state championship in high school.
Man, it was crazy. Just going into my senior year, actually, me and my former teammate Jamal Baker, and he actually goes to Arizona right now. We put in work countless hours in the morning, before school, after school, coming in at 6 in the morning before school starting, and just trying to work and grinding toward that goal of winning the state championship and being named as some of the best players in California. And I feel like arguably we went down as that our last year.
That's what's up. How far did you guys go the year prior?
The year prior, I think we were in the quarterfinals, semifinals of CIF. They put us in the open division, and I mean it was tough competition. And we actually came down here and played. We played a team in San Diego. I think it was the Catholic school. Trey Kell went there.
Oh, I know.
Is it?
I know what you're talking about. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
We played them and had a tough loss out here, and that actually ended our run. So just going to my senior year, I knew I wanted to get back at that, and I wanted the chance at CIF, and I wanted a chance at state.
That's super dope, man, to win a CIF championship. I was just talking about it last week on last week's show. I can't remember the years for whatever. I feel like it was 2016 was the year. But I coached at the high school I went to in Escondido, Orange Glen High School, and that was our core guys. 2016, that was their senior year, and we actually lost to Helix in the CIF championship. We ended up making it to the Elite Eight. And I know for me, I'm not a player. I'd have to talk to the players and see how they felt about it. But for me, the fact that we lost in CIF, but we still made it that far, that was a pretty big deal. Like, cause we went out to Selma and played a school out there, and it was like the whole town came out. You know what I mean? It was crazy. So that was a big deal for us. That was a big deal for us.
I feel that, and going to my freshman year, we won a CIF championship.
Okay.
Playing with those guys, I had a lot of seniors on that team, and then we went to state and ran into some of the LA guys, and they ran us out of the gym in that first round. But it was a blessing to be able to win CIF and state, and a blessing to experience that.
Right. And you're a big dude, man. Was it always just basketball for you, or did you play anything else?
I played football growing up. Actually, I played a lot of sports. I played soccer when I was really little. Played
Same.
baseball. Played football. I was a quarterback. And I think just ultimately, I just wanted to play basketball. That was, my parents put a lot of sports in front of me, but basketball was for me, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
And so when did you start playing basketball, and then when did you cut out all the other sports?
I started playing basketball basically as soon as I could walk, like 2 years old. I had a basketball in my hand. Started playing in like little leagues probably when I was like 5, 6 years old. But I really knew that I wanted to play basketball for the rest of my life, probably when I was like 8, 10. Just watching Kobe, Tracy McGrady, LeBron, all these guys come up and really shine in the league. That was just something that I've always wanted to do, was shine and be able to make a statement somewhere. I feel like basketball for me is that way to make a statement, not only on the court but off the court as well. And those guys are just icons and legends, and that's something you aspire to be. So I saw that, and I went chasing my dream.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And I agree with you, like, that basketball is probably the biggest sport where you can make the biggest impact on and off the court, because, I mean, as big as you can get in any sport, I feel like just because of the way culture has gone and the way, like, hip-hop is, like, really pop culture now, and the way it's, like, so merged with basketball, it makes it easier in that way. And then plus, unlike, and I wasn't even the first person to think of this. I think I heard it on, like, the 30 for 30 with Miami, and one of the players was talking about how, like, football players, like, you can't see their face.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I used to take my helmet off after a touchdown. I wanted the girls to see me. And that probably goes to, like, what you said about, like, making an impact in basketball. Like, when I do something, everybody sees exactly who made, you know what I'm saying? Even if you know what, Odell Beckham looks like, it's a little different when, you see him and you see the reaction on his face when he does it. And then you see the reaction on his face if he makes, like, a cultural statement or some kind of statement against anything that's going on in society. So I definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. And so you, like I said, you just finished up a really, what were your numbers this year? You finished up your junior year. What were your numbers?
I think I averaged around maybe 13 points, 5 boards, a couple assists. I mean, if I come back for my senior year, then I would settle for nothing less than the Mountain West Player of the Year. Going for that in whatever season that we are given. But I think that me coming back for my senior year, I wouldn't settle for anything less. And trying to push my teammates and the guys that came with me, came up with me, Jordan Shackle and Adam Seiko. He redshirted, but we all came in together. Those same guys, and we were in the tournament my freshman year actually. We got outed by Houston in the first round, so we know how it feels to be there and to be in that moment, to experience it. Now we want to go win a game, and that was taken from us this year. But I think given that we would have a season, I think we would settle for nothing less.
I agree, man. Like I said, I plan on you guys going real deep. I was talking to, I mean, not that people were like, nah, man, because everybody's seen how well you guys were playing. But I was telling everybody, like, I like them to go real deep. I do got to touch back on it, though. You say if you come back, so it's still an if right now? You say if you come back for your senior year?
It's still up in the air.
Okay.
My name is still in the draft, and I'm just trying to expunge everything I can get out of that talking. If workouts come to be, then I'll take the workouts most definitely and go get that experience. And if my stock rises, I'm able to leave. Then I see. I think that would be the best for me. But if it comes to it, and my senior year is still a viable option for me. So I definitely think both ways is definitely pros and cons. But I know everything's just up in the air, and
Right.
yeah,
I hear you.
still deciding with family and whatnot.
I feel you, and especially like all your own personal deciding factors, and then you got all this other stuff going on right now. So I can imagine it makes it that much more difficult. If you so first thing I was gonna say before that, for me to talk to somebody that's like involved in the experience right now is super dope, because for me, always coming up, like the furthest, and maybe this like kind of speaks to who I am a little bit. It sounds a little sad now that I'm about to say it out loud, but for me, like the furthest that me and a lot of other people were thinking, like a D1 scholarship, and even that's like extremely hard to do. But a lot of times, like still like going pro was like a goal, like
Yep.
almost out of reach, but it was still something you shot for.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So then now to actually be sitting with somebody who's like knocking on the door and who's going through that process is super dope. And I can only imagine like how that feels, you know what I mean? And especially the way you played your junior year with the senior year coming up to expand things even more, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, the process is actually it's kind of slow. It's especially for guys like me that we're kind of dependent upon the tournament and to open guys' eyes and whatnot and say, hey, look at me, like I'm worthy of this, and knowing rightfully so. And I think Malachi Flynn, he's definitely gonna get picked. I have no doubt in that. But I think going into the tournament, I think coming out of that, his stock would have been a little bit higher. My stock would have been a little bit higher. I think everybody, that's the whole starting five, guys coming off the bench. I think everybody would look at him because we were winning, we were playing as a team.
Right. Doing it the right way.
Yeah, everybody's shining.
And see, you can ask my brother, shout out to my brother who's always here doing the cameras for me. And then I was telling my brother and telling my wife, that was like when everything got shut down, that was not necessarily guys who were like, looking to go pro. My thought was first like the high school guys that were like right on the cusp, like my guest who I had last week, Bryson Stevens. He was gonna play on the unsigned seniors team for the Compton Magic and really try to do something. And granted, he went D2 and that's great and all, but his plans kind of got messed up, and it could have really, really got messed up. You know what I mean? So when all this stuff happened, my mind automatically went to the people who needed that time to try to make something shake. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but I mean, everything usually works out. Like if you could ball, and you know what I'm saying. People that was looking, when you get back to playing, I'm sure they'll still be looking. It's a little different, but I'm sure they'll still be looking. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So how was your after winning a state championship? I know I'm bouncing all around. After winning a state championship in high school, what was your recruitment like before winning the state championship, and then what was it like afterwards?
My recruitment was actually very slow, especially going to my senior year. I actually early on in the year I signed to Cal State Fullerton.
I read that.
And then I started playing throughout my year and playing well. My stock started rising and I talked with family and some outside like close family friends, and we decided that Cal State Fullerton just wasn't the right fit for me anymore, and that I felt my game was a little bit better than that conference. I felt like my game needed to be showcased on a bigger stage, and so I opened back up my recruiting. I say maybe right around March. That area. So it was literally right when playoffs were that I think I got out of my national letter of intent. And so I kind of went into January early that year, just knowing that I wanted to make noise and wanted to be seen. We played in the Tarkanian, and I had a really good showing out there. We played in the Damien Classic early on in the year. I had a good showing there as well. And honestly, I just felt like nobody could stop me. And I just had all the confidence in the world. So I think just going into that and knowing that I was just playing freely and trying to showcase my talent and showcase what I could do is really what kind of pushed my recruiting. And then after that, after my senior year, I actually played as an unsigned senior. For Dream Vision, and kind of situation that Bryson wanted to do. And Bryson, my boy, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we gone through some of the IE runs down there in the Inland Empire.
That's dope. Okay.
And so I just kind of went through my senior year, and that summer, just knowing that I was an unsigned senior, like I'm coming in here going at everybody. So I tried to go at everybody that summer, everybody we played. And I had a lot of offers to come out as a senior, and I had a lot of offers that people that wanted me to go back a year and reclass and come back out, so they could then grab me. But I felt I was ready for college now. I saw no problem. I saw no reason for me to go back to high school for another year. I felt like I was ready to play, and I felt like San Diego State at the time was the best fit for me.
That's what's up. And so to track back a little bit, did you feel, I guess you kind of answered the question when you said like you felt like nobody could stop you in the confidence you had, but in going back and telling Fullerton that you weren't going to go there, did you have any inside feeling like, dang, this kind of ain't cool? Like, did you have any feelings about that, or you were like, nah, I'm not tripping?
Definitely, because those guys were always by my side, and that is a great coaching staff, and John Smith, Dietrich Taylor, and the rest of the guys on staff. Those guys are amazing people, and great hearts. But I think at the end of the day, they understood that no, I didn't want to let my recruit go. But at the same time, I understood they understood where I was coming from. I understood where they were coming from. But at the end of the day, yeah, you do get that gut feeling like this kind of not right.
Right.
And it's like, dang, like you kind of feel bad because you signed that paper. You were excited to go there, and now you changed your mind.
I can imagine though that's a good. I'm not that everyone would be able to handle it well, because some people might just stay because they don't like having like those confrontations.
Yeah.
But I can imagine having a moment like that. 17 years old is probably like good for like early like manhood development, quote unquote. Like having to make that decision, because you can't. That's not something. Maybe you could, but I can imagine like you're the one on the phone. You can't like tell your mom like, "Hey, mom, call him and tell him I'm not coming no more." Like, that's something you gotta man up and do. You know what I mean? So I can imagine moving forward, that's helpful.
Anyway. Yeah, it definitely was. And helpful in handling your business. I mean, it's a business world. You got to do what's best for you. So if I didn't do right by myself, and I went to Cal State Fullerton knowing that I didn't really want to be there, and that I wanted to be somewhere else, that I feel like that would have messed up not only my game, but that team, that roster, that coaching staff. And everything's like a domino effect. It just all falls apart. So I feel like going into that, I feel like I also help guys that wanted to get out of their national letter of intent by kind of stepping to that and saying, like, I got to stand for something that's for me. I got to stand for me and do what's right.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I like that. Your
Appreciate
moment. Had to go ahead and do what's right in your moment.
Exactly.
Boom. Speaking of your moments, I read, I had to do a little homework on you. I had to know a little bit about you when I brought you in here. I knew a little bit, but I had to find out a little bit more. So I was reading that you jumped in a pickup game with some pros. Was that San Diego State?
I did.
Who are the pros before we get into the story?
It was the Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay.
Back when Blake was there.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
So they came actually to San Diego State. We're doing like their spring camp. And so it was after one of our workouts. I actually had class, and then came to the workout. I had to come to the workout late, was working out.
And this is your freshman year?
Yeah, this was summer between my freshman and sophomore year.
Okay, got you.
So going to my sophomore year.
Got you.
They came in there for spring camp after our workout, and I was in there watching, and they were about to go through runs. One of the guys had cut out early. Another guy he was an older cat and was stretching. He was like, I'm not playing. And so they had 9, and they were looking around for one and asked me to play, and I was like, run downstairs, go get my shoes. And like it was like a flash of the moment. I was like, I'm taking it. And so I was hoping to play with the guys, Sam Decker, Blake Griffin, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Will, Pat Bev, and those guys really got after it. Those are all dogs, honestly, all guys that are grit and grind, not necessarily faces of the league, but are forces to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
So I definitely had some fun playing with them, and that definitely taught me about the strength of actually man strength and being 28, 30 years old, and then having to fight the mental game and trying to keep up with them.
Did you have any any moments where you got to bust some ass a little bit, or was it more like you was kind of swinging
Nah,
and ride
yeah, I
playing
did.
moments? You gotta tell me about it, bro. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
definitely. I hit a shot. I hit a shot over Pat Bev. He was
Okay.
guarding me one time, and I actually blocked Sam Decker's layup. Well, he double clutched. I blocked it off the backboard, and next one I tried to block, and he dunked on me. So I mean, that's just kind of learning process.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
it
right.
happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
happens, and those guys are athletic and strong, just like I am. So you gotta pick your battles.
It's funny. Speaking of you being athletic and strong, when I first seen you, because I'm standing on the baseline at the Swish Pro Am last year. You playing this year?
Yeah, I'll be playing.
That's dope. That's dope. I'll be there this year again. I was actually talking about it earlier. So when I
Okay.
first seen you last year, I remember you played. I forget the name of your team, but y'all had baby blue uniforms.
Oh yeah,
And I
Pacific
remember,
Beach.
right there you go. And I remember you walking. I'm like, damn, that dude is big. And I'm expecting you because of how big you are. I'm expecting you to like be posting up.
Yep.
And then you on the perimeter. And to be real, I'm like, oh, he tripping, man. I'm thinking like, and to be honest, I'm like, it's the summer and it's the Swish. I'm like, he probably trying to work on his game a
Yep.
little bit. He probably don't really play out there though. He probably trying to work on his game. And you grab the rock and start going to work. And like I said, I didn't know who you were. Like playing San Diego State, I honestly, no offense, but I didn't know who
Yep.
you were.
I feel
You start getting busy. I'm like, nah, he could really do that. And then my boy, you know EA.
Yeah.
EA was like, nah,
Yep.
bro, he could play. He could play like that. He does that. I was like, oh, okay. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was really when I met you and really been trying to connect with you ever since then.
I feel you, man. Yeah. I mean, I've actually always been different in trying to handle the ball. Actually, my parents grew up as bigs. My sister was a big.
Okay.
She just finished up a couple years ago at Cal Baptist. And I mean, it's family of bigs. And then there goes me trying to shoot threes. Growing up, my dad wanted to teach me stuff inside post moves, and I'm like, I know that, but
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5".
Okay.
6'5", 6'6" with shoes on.
You look bigger than that. That's what I was about to say. You look bigger than that when you're on the court, though. To be real.
I mean, man, I guess it's kind of a little bit of deception, but I just play with force that's different than other guys. A lot of physicality, but finesse as well, and able to be versatile. I think that's what's best about my game on both sides of the floor. Able to guard 1 through 5, and then on the flip side, if there's a big, I'm able to bring him out, work, and if there's a smaller guy, able to go down low and be able to work. And that's honestly the post work that my dad gave me growing up. I mean, that's helped me be so versatile because I've always wanted to grow up and shoot threes and be able to be a guard. And so you got to have both. Now I think you having more to your game, more to your bag, having it in the inside as well as an out is really what makes players great.
Those are always the toughest covers. I mean, the guys who can do it all, like skill wise, but they also have like they big enough to bang, but still fast enough to move and got the handle to do everything. Because I mean, I'm a little dude anyway, so it's always gonna be tough for me. But even if you like got the body to play, you know what I'm saying? If I'm fast enough and you got the body, then it's like, then what am I doing? And then on the flip side, if I got the body, I'm probably not gonna be fast enough. So always the toughest covers, man. Speaking of being big and fast, you had a lot of dope plays, and I want to ask you about your favorite game and your favorite player from last season. I'm probably gonna talk about your favorite play, honestly. But I forgot who. Man, see, I forgot the name. But they actually had on baby blue jerseys. You came down the lane and yammed it on my man real bad. One-handed. You came from
Mexico, I think.
Was it Mexico? They got baby blue jerseys. I can't even remember. I don't. To be real, I don't even really keep up. I keep up with you guys because you're here in town. But to be honest, until something is like my brother's like, nah, you need to watch that. I really don't pay attention to college sports like that, other than San Diego State. So who? Like I said, but you came down the lane on the left side. I think you dunked on Buddy with the right hand. Man, talk to me about that play.
Honestly, man, people ask me about it, and I don't even really know like how I even got to that moment. All I knew is I knew what play they were running. And so they're in our conference. We're scouting them. They're trying to post our little guard up KJ. So I we switched it so they didn't post up Lyle, big guard, kind of like me, but a little bit smaller, can shoot the ball. and work inside as well, and has post game. So they switched me on him for that play, and he kind of lofted the ball up there, like I was KJ, and I was able to get a hand on it. And it went down the court. I was able to tip it down the court. I just knew I was running after the ball. I was like, if I grab it, I'm gonna try and dunk it. I didn't know that anybody was chasing me. I just knew that once I saw him, I had to try and dunk it as hard as I could.
Oh, see, I thought you knew he was coming.
Nah, at first I didn't see anybody. I looked up and he was under me. So I was like, well, I'm here. And I just know I just had to try and dunk it. I didn't know how, but I mean it went down. So
was that your favorite play from last season?
That's actually not my favorite play. My favorite play was when we played Utah State. I kind of went through like a little run by myself. I think I ran like maybe a couple threes off in a row. And then we came down and their big Cato was guarding me, kind of sagging off a little bit. And my teammate Trey pitched me back the ball, and I was hot. And honestly, the rim just felt like it was 1,000 feet wide. And so I threw it up, and it went in, and the crowd just went crazy. And that was honestly the most alive feeling I felt. Like one of the most alive feelings I felt playing this game. And honestly, that's what I live for, and I can't wait for more moments like that.
Right. I got to make sure I get to some San Diego State games. There was so many games, man, I would plan to go to, and then something would happen, and then, like, I got to be home with my son or, like, something. The one game, I made sure, like, I forget what jammed me up, but I made sure I cleared my schedule. I made sure I already got a press badge because I do media for KUSI, but I made sure I got, like, another one just so I wouldn't be jammed up at the door when I got to the arena. Like, I had everything I needed, like, everything, and I still did well when they retired Kawhi's jersey.
Man, that was actually the game.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually the game that happened. And I actually went off in that second half after they retired his jersey. Utah State, they were up at halftime. I think they were up by like 3 maybe. I'm not sure. But the game was kind of going in their momentum. And I don't know what clicked in my head, but I just didn't want to lose at home to Utah State again. That was
especially on that night.
Yeah, especially on that night.
Yeah.
Especially on that night. And just going back from my sophomore year and that summer just losing the weight. And there were specific games that I had marked on my calendar for sure. And get back games and games I know that I should have played better than, that I will play better in. I feel like Utah State was the most competitive team just this past year. Against us, and I knew I had to have a good showing.
That's dope. What was there pardon me, I'm stuttering a lot. How does Kawhi come back and like talk to you guys a lot, or does he like send messages in a lot, or is it kind of just like on nights like that when he's in town?
It's kind of just like when he's in town.
I mean, he's a quiet dude. Anyway,
yeah, he's a quiet guy. He's to himself. I've definitely seen him in the gym working out. Working out court next to him. And being able to watch the way he works and the consistency and what he does, his drills and the form and the rhythm, and his work ethic. It's honestly, he comes in, it's just like a machine. Like he's just going and going. He doing the same thing over and over and over again. And once you see the way he work out, you see on the court why he makes the shots that he does, why hands don't really matter to him, and why mid-range is just so easy. And, I mean, on top of that, his hands are huge. I've seen the way he just palmed the ball, and so it just kind of looked just easy for him. But, yeah, he definitely has one of the, if not the highest work ethic I've seen.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I've been trying to, that's another thing I've been doing with the quarantine. I always got to, my wife make sure I got my mask on and everything, but I've been trying to pull up on like players like you and different guys that have been working out, man. So next time you, or anytime you working out, man, hit me. I try to come through and shoot a video. I'm always trying to work, man. I'm always trying to work. But speaking of working out, is there any player that you kind of, when you're in the gym, when you're like working on your game, that you kind of like try to patent your game after anybody that you try to play like?
I kind of say a little bit of Bradley Beal, trying to be more versatile on the perimeter, and show that, because in high school, my freshman year of college, my freshman year of college, senior high school, that's more of what I showcase. That's who I am, is a perimeter guy that plays inside out. Um, and so I see Bradley Beal athleticism all over the court, able to hit tough shots, able to make the right pass, and is able to take guards inside out, post them up if he wants to. And I think more of my game is able to compare with his a little bit more. I've seen some guys say like Melo, because I do like to take guys down lower, because more you see more guards that are a little bit smaller and on the college level.
Right.
So I mean, it's only fitting to do so. I mean, you want
Gotta
to
play
make
to
it,
the advantages.
exactly, play to your advantages and make life easy on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely like taking guys inside out and being able to play. But I definitely think Bradley Beal is more my style.
I like Bradley Beal a lot, man. I was telling my older brother that I think Bradley Beal better than John Wall. He's like, nah, bro, no way. Like, come on, bro, no way better than John Wall. I like Bradley Beal a lot though, man. I think he is better. Like more, John Wall I think is more dynamic.
Yep.
He's for sure not. I think he's definitely more dynamic, but I think like overall, I don't know. Maybe Bradley Beal is just a better scorer. But anyway, I like Bradley Beal a lot.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. If you could put together your all-time starting five, who'd you put?
Oof.
Any players at all?
Kobe, Shaq, Kareem, LeBron, Chris Paul.
I like that.
Yeah, Chris Paul don't need to score too much and love to facilitate, and I like that. I like that group.
I was about to say all Lakers, but you can't really count LeBron as a Laker, can you? I mean,
Nah.
he in a Laker uniform, but he not.
Yeah,
like,
he is, but I
you know
don't
what
count
I
him as a
mean?
Laker. He's
Like,
always,
right,
I mean,
like
in my
Shaq-
eyes, he always gonna be a Cavs.
Exactly. Like
Yep.
Shaq played for a bunch of different teams, but Shaq is a Laker.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Shaq is
saying?
a
I don't
Laker.
think you look at LeBron and say like, oh, there's a Laker right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see him as that.
But you did name a bunch of Lakers. Are you a Laker fan?
Not anymore. I was growing up. I was Kobe, Shaq, Kobe, but basically mostly Kobe. When Shaq left, I was like, whatever. Kobe's still here. But when KD came into the league, 2011, 2012, Russ came into the league, James came into the league, and they were the Seattle Supersonics still.
Yep.
That was my squad. Like I was like, I love them. And then turn around. Actually, it was way earlier than that. It was probably like 2008 when they came in the league. But when they switched over to OKC, I was like, yeah, it's like this is me. Like I want this team. And so I've more or less been an OKC fan since then. But I mean, it comes with its ups and downs. KD left, Russ gone, James has been gone. Struggling,
Right.
but we'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I like OKC, man. I especially like what Chris Paul doing over there, man.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
never. Everybody be like, man, get over it. I'll never look at KD the same, man. After he went over to the Warriors, man.
Yeah.
I'll never look at him the same.
Exactly. He just
It was time for him to leave OKC.
Yeah,
Don't get that
definitely.
twisted. I'm not mad about him leaving OKC.
Yep.
but Go to the Warriors. Come on, fam.
I just didn't think that was the right place to go.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Go do your
But I mean, he got his ring and
Yeah.
and-
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do.
And
So
now
I
he's-
commend him for that.
And now he's
but-
still in his feelings. But anyway. We'll leave that alone. I could go on and on and on about that. What was I gonna say? What's my other question for you? Is there any specific players? I guess I don't want to. Maybe you want to keep that to yourself. But are there any specific players and or teams that you kind of like got the schedule circled for next season that you like? I got to make sure for this dude and or this team, I'm really gonna bring it.
Oh man. I mean,
Or I guess you don't know if you're coming back, so you can't really answer that.
well, I mean, if I come back,
Okay.
I say if I come back,
Okay.
I say our entire conference. I don't see there's a reason why that projected team couldn't go undefeated in conference. And really lock in and win every game. I think these guys, the group of guys that are coming in, are more than talented with or without me, and more are capable of winning conference. It's talent left and right. Terrell Gomez, fifth-year senior coming in. Joshua Tomiak. Don't get mad at me for saying your name wrong, bro. I think it's Tomiak. But fifth year from Maryland, big strong guy coming in, post work, step out, shoot a little bit, and all the guys we got coming back, all the freshmen, Che Evans, Keith Dinwiddie, Lamont Butler, guys we got coming back, Jordan Shackle, Adam Seiko, Keyshawn Johnson, Trey Pulliam. All these guys are more than capable of getting the job done. And I think coming into it, everybody lock in, just like last year's team did. Put everything, all the BS aside, and go out and say, let's hoop. I think like we ultimately did. I think we just cut out all the BS and just said, let's hoop, let's win. Everybody came here to win. Malachi came from Washington State. KJ came from Santa Clara. Yanni came from Vanderbilt, and all those programs were more or less losing programs, and they didn't see the light of winning conference and winning all the things that San Diego State has won their conference, the conference tournament, the conference tournament championships, the conference championships, and that's just what we're expected to do is to be at the top of the conference, and I think we not only did that, but I mean surpassed that, and we're able to embark on something special.
Man, that's dope. I can't wait, man. I gotta make sure, like, even if I don't, I'm sure I'm gonna have a media pass, so I'll be able to get in. But even if I don't, if I gotta buy me some tickets, man, I can't wait to come out and watch y'all next year, man. I can't wait. I mean, all around San Diego, man, it's gonna be a big. I've been talking about basketball nonstop. Everybody can tell I'm more into basketball. Even though my show is for all sports, everybody can tell I'm more into basketball, especially with the artwork that I bring in.
Most definitely.
But yeah, man, like I said, it's going to be a big year for all of San Diego, but especially for basketball, man. What y'all going to be doing at San Diego State, what San Ysidro's getting ready to do, what San Diego High School is getting ready to do. A lot of people don't talk. I got to shout them out, man. A lot of people don't talk about my guy, AJ over at San Diego High School, man.
San Diego High School.
San Diego High School. He done won three CIF championships in 3 years, man. And he's not a flashy player. He's not like real big on social media. He's a quiet kid, but he hoops, bro. He hoops. He gets the job done, and I mean in the shows. He got 3 rings in 3 years. So shout out to you, man. If ain't nobody gonna shout you out, I'll shout you out, bro.
Most definitely.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me see. I ask you like I asked Bryson. I'm gonna ask everybody this question. It's super random. I have nothing to do with nothing. If you could choose any superpower, what would you choose and why?
Superpower. I would say teleportation.
Why is that?
I mean, then you can get anywhere. You ain't got to deal with traffic. Any emergency come up, you're there. I mean, you wake up, you late for class. You got 5 minutes left till you get to class. You hurry up, brush your teeth, get to class.
Right. But now I asked that and looked at my brother like that because I said the same thing last week when I asked Bryson. Yeah, I said the same thing last week. I said because I just be thinking like, man, sometimes you just don't want to be with somewhere no more. You just be like, man, I'm out. You just get up and you just just out.
That too. Exactly. You at a friend's house and you're like, I'm trying to go home. Like, I gotta get in the car, go drive. Just snap your fingers. You got the crib.
That's all I got time for today, man. You welcome back on the show anytime, man. Any big game or anytime throughout the season, you want to announce anything, you're welcome to do it here, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you doing that.
Most definitely. Thank you, bro.
I'm the Michael Flix, man. Thank y'all.